multi-exclusive dimensional being Kyle with another exclusive. Today's video is going to be about why are you lonely and why you have no friends. Now this is deep metaphysically because depending on what you was into in your previous life, it's what you brought into this lifetime. And of course, we all have a life purpose. We all have a life task. We all have a life characteristic trait that we need to utilize on a day to day basis. Now, of course, it's so important to pay attention to what is going on in your surroundings, whether the people you associate with, the people you interact with, and the people you communicate with, because it's very important to know what mission and goal you're supposed to be on. See, now, things happen for a reason. These things just don't play out for non-cause. These things happen for a reason. Feel me? Just like how the moon switch up, people switch up, circumstances and situations switch up, life forces and life tasks switch up. But now, when we talking about being lonely, see, you're never lonely. You're never ever lonely. You're always being watched. You always have guides with you. You always have spirit guides with you. You're always being in a space and location of being protected, or you can be in a space and location of attracting the opposite of that protection, of being unprotected. Which means spirits can be trying to invade you, spirits can be trying to bring you down, spirits can be trying to put you in circumstances and situations to have you contradicting your life, contradicting yourself. Now, it's very important to understand and understand that once you know thyself, you will always know that regardless of what you're being told or what you're looking at outside of you, you will always be in a satisfying state. And the whole term of being satisfied is very important because if you're not satisfied within yourself, if you're not satisfied, happy, and healthy within yourself, you will not be able to achieve and you will always be caught into desires and things of that nature. That's the whole purpose of or the characteristics or the characteristic traits or the characters in the Bible that dealt with circumstances and situations. These are people that get taken advantage of when they get lost into their desires and shapes and forms that they create to inherit and embody these characteristic traits and these experiences that they are utilizing. They catch desires and they get lost into them. See, understand and understand. Your friends ain't your friends. You feel me? You have friends, you have associates, you have family. These people are not necessarily your friends. You feel me? These people are not necessarily like who they say who you think they are. Like you're just a spirit and a body having an experience, which means that you are constantly traveling, you are constantly moving, you are constantly going into dimensions. Your spirit don't give a fuck about desires. Your spirit just want to experience. And your spirit is the gas. Your spirit is the fire. Your spirit is passion. Your spirit is no shape and it's no form, but your spirit is invisible. Your spirit is constantly creating spaceships to inhabit and to experience. So that's pretty much you as an individual in the light perspective. Then of course you have your soul, which is inherent in your body, which is your subconscious, your waters, your fluids, which is your second perspective. And what came third was your physical representation. So regardless of what the circumstances and situations play out, the world that you're looking in, the world that you see with your two eyes is an illusion. And you created this world to just experience and not get caught into circumstances and situations to have you going crazy. And that's what your spirit or your soul don't need. Because if you put in weight and wear and tear on your spirit and your soul, then of course you pretty much don't know yourself and you don't know what you're doing behind the scenes. And of course, doing these things on a repeated basis can put you in certain spaceships and locations where you attract these. And of course, you think you are these things And that's where you get lost into these spectrums. That's why it's so important to not actually pick up these traits or experience these traits or get lost into these traits. You have to constantly be moving. Feel me? Like a real friend, feel me? You don't need a real friend. You your own friend. You have to become your own friend first. And of course, I don't even like to use the word friend because the word end is in it. Anything with the word end, as far as a boyfriend, girlfriend, that word end is a contract that you're signing and that you're putting out there in the universe. So once you agree to the terms and conditions of boyfriend or girlfriend or friend, that's up to you on for you to look over that contract and to change the name and change the contract and change the vibrational state. Or you can put yourself in the circumstance situation of allowing the person that created the word, the spirit that created the term boyfriend and girlfriend, to inhabit these traits to play out to your perspective, almost to the point that the person that you're relating to can become a burden. This person may not be in your best interest. This person may not be on the same path as you. And that's where it starts, because whoever you're associating yourself with or relating yourself with, if they're not on the same path as you, then these people are not your friends. Understand and understand that shit. These people are only going to do two things: stop you, and of course, stop you from your path, or direct you towards their path because you're around them. So whoever you around, whoever you seclude yourself with or put yourself around with, you're going to basically pick up these characteristics, these traits, almost to the point that they could be telling you some down shit. And of course, you're uplifted spirit, and they telling you some down shit. And of course, you eating these information that they giving you. So now you're going down and you're experiencing these down circumstances and situations, and you pay too much attention to it. Now it's riding in your wave. It's riding in your multi-universe. It's riding in your universe. Now you're about to experience this in some way or some magnitude or longitude. That how, no matter how it's going to play out, it's going to play out in your life. Either you're going to see it or you're going to hinder it. And it's so important not to put yourself around certain individuals, because these people are going to stop you from getting from point A to point B. Also, another thing too, never your real friends will always support your dream, no matter what the circumstance situation is. If you're around somebody that's not supporting your dreams, or if you're around somebody that you're trying to basically explain to them your dreams, and they don't really give you that vibe back, that connection back, and they not basically getting at you with the same energy, or at least trying to work with you and build with you, because we in crazy times right now as far as this whole spectrum. So it's all about the teamwork, dreamwork. They're not on the same frequency or the same current as you, then these people are not your friends. They just basically using you. And of course, it's good. You're gonna pick up the vibes. Your spirit is always gonna tell you. Your spirit will always get the information first. Your spirit is always gonna get the latest phones first. Your spirit is always gonna basically be channeling this information and channeling these circumstances and situations and currents that are being rotated into these spirals that y'all are experiencing, just like the waves. Your spirit is always gonna get this information. Now it's up to you to listen to your water, listen to the mind, which is the demon, the devil, or you're gonna basically utilize your. Now listen, it's always important to listen to your pay attention to the unconscious, which means have clairvoyance. Don't think about nothing, just be clear. Just let the information come to you. And of course, you got to pay attention to your subconscious, because basically now you receive the information, now it's gonna hit you. And the third idea would be the demon, which is the physical representations, the desires, the pleasures, the things that you're into, the things that you utilize. Now, once the thing hit third perspective, you need to figure out which one you're going to go with. You're going to go with the third perspective, the second perspective, or you're going to basically put two and one with one together, analyze the details, and work together. Teamwork make the dream work. This way your spirit is not going over here, telling you to do this, telling you to do that. After they already told you what to do, then you listening to your soul, then you listening to your mind, then you listening to other spirits, and feel me, it start to become a volcanic eruption internally, which you start to go all over the place. And of course, you don't want that shit. Also, another thing, when you start to take off with your dreams and your goals and shit, and the people that wasn't supporting you, aka the people that wasn't next to you, putting in that work with you, putting in that pain with you, or basically creating that project with you, then of course these are not your friends. You need to stay away from these motherfuckers because you're carrying dead weight. You're carrying dead baggage, and of course these weren't your responsibilities when you was working on that shit and leaving your footprints in the motherfucking sand. That wasn't your responsibility. When y'all all came together, feel me? When y'all all came together, feel me? You was on your shit, feel me? Everybody was following you. Boom. Now everybody else went that way because everybody agreed to the terms and conditions because they thought it was too many obstacles and too many challenges. But you still went to the east. You still went to go get that motherfucking treasure. Now boom, you got all the treasure and shit. Now boom, here they come again. Oh, like wait, hold on. You're supposed to go around them motherfuckers and lead them where they stand. You're not supposed to allow these motherfuckers to follow your trend because they're gonna fuck shit up for you. For me, they already turned their back on you in the first place. Don't allow these motherfuckers to back. That's another thing too. Once somebody turn their back on you, once somebody is basically trying to exit you out their lives or basically get rid of you or some shit, that's the time where you're supposed to just let go. God in the universe gonna have something else for you to inherit or basically body. So don't allow these motherfuckers to have you feel away or have these motherfuckers to have you thinking in certain areas and shit like that. Nah, don't do that shit. Another term, if you gotta always go out your way for somebody and they don't go out their way for you or some shit, and they not basically making sure the cup is full on the same spectrum, these motherfuckers ain't your friend. You're being used as a puppet, as a crutch. Stay away from these motherfuckers. They motherfucking use you. Real shit. Real motherfucking shit. Now, another thing, which you need to basically pay attention to, if these motherfuckers ain't your motherfucking friend. Pay attention to their body language. Feel me? The body language is always gonna fucking tell a law. You can't lie. You can't fucking lie. Remember, the soul is controlling that body. So now, if that person's soul and your soul ain't mixing and mingling, you're gonna basically pick that shit up. Feel me? Because you're spirits and bodies, and y'all all chilling in the same space and location. Y'all in the same vortex. Y'all in the same room right now. So if nobody's energy is matching the room, you're basically gonna tell that shit. You're gonna see through that shit. And if you can't see through that shit, then that means you have a whole lot of shit on your mind. And you need to clear your mind. You need to have clairvoyance. You need to see. It ain't hard to tell. Like, you should know this shit by now. You should be able to read people. Feel me? Like a book. Even if you don't know them like that, you should be able to actively read them and pick them up one time. Feel me? Because you already know. You already know a snake when you see one. A snake just basically do some dark shit. Probably wear too much dark clothing or something like that. Feel me? No, you already know a whale. A whale like to eat shit up, basically eat up all the information. And of course, like, you can really tell the difference between people, places, and things and how they play out and what kind of agenda that they have under their sleeve too. Feel me? Also, another thing too, they ain't your friends if they're around you for the shit that you have. That's another thing too. Feel me? Because it's a circumstance situation where knowing that you have it all, they're gonna be around you just because of that. And once that shit is gone, they're not gonna be around you no more. Feel me? It won't. Even when times get hard or some shit. Feel me? Even though they was chipping in, you wasn't returning the favor and shit. When times get hard, for me, you pretty much hit a big ass asteroid and everything was just got catastrophic. All your belongings got all over the place and shit. House drowned and shit. Car got damaged and shit. Feel me? And where are they now? They not there no more. Feel me? Boom, but when you get your shit back up and you get that big ass mansion and you get that big ass truck, that brand new SUV, that brand new Jeep, that brand new Corolla, that brand new Benz, here they come running the fuck back again. And of course, that's where you cut the ties and don't allow these motherfuckers to back in. Feel me? That's real shit. But it's very important to basically know who your friends and know who not your friends and shit. Now, if you got friends and shit, and you know you ain't fucking with them, and you know they don't fuck with you, now is the time to cut that shit off. Feel me? They gonna show their true motherfucking colors. Real shit, real rap. Real rap. They gonna show their true colors. Also, another thing too, especially with this shit that's going on with this pandemic, a lot of motherfuckers is showing their motherfucking true colors. Feel me? The motherfuckers that you thought was real, the motherfuckers that you thought was really real, these motherfuckers ain't real. These motherfuckers is possessed. Stay away from them, feel me? That's another thing too. If they don't have their own belief system, they don't have their own trust. These ain't your friends for me because they don't believe and they don't trust in faith. They trust in the motherfucking news.